Trenton and Ryan talk random things and Chiefs football. They want you to like them on social media and real life, but more importantly on social media. Trenton and Ryan. It's a Trenton and Ryan. It's a Trenton and Ryan. The Trenton and Ryan Show. The Trenton and Ryan Show. Watch out!
This week, in this episode of our podcast, we're going to talk about Chiefs' biggest obstacles going into the next season, maybe some predictions, and, our girl, Tay Swizzle, she was in town for the last 2 nights. I don't know if she's doing a third night, but there's a concert at Arrowhead, and it was loud, and we're also going to talk about some very typical Kansas City things. So, yeah, that's what's going on in today's episode. But taking it a step back, Ryan, how was church today?
It was good. I did some original music for the kids. They liked it. They were singing it, and it was a part of the curriculum. So yeah, it was cool. I kind of switched everything up to incorporate some of my original songs into the curriculum, and it worked out. And the kids really seemed to like it. So they were humming, they were singing. They were doing a bunch of things, so it was good. And one of the kids, I found out that he invited Jesus into his heart to be his Lord and Savior, which is always an amazing thing. So, yeah, it was good. And Trenton, how you still went to church, right? I know you were having some stuff going on with you, but you still went to church, right?
That's right, yeah. I don't want to get too into it, but long story short, yeah, my girlfriend, she's sick and everything right now, and we're not really sure what was going on. So, just to be safe, we went to the hospital, and we made the decision to go the extended route to the more reliable hospital in Lee Summit. And we got there about 8, didn't leave until about 2 in the morning. But the good news is negative on pretty much everything. The bad news is she's still in pain and is miserable. And we don't know what's wrong with her. So, but
not good.
Rest assured, I still made it to church. She didn't. And we're here, ready to rock. Church was good. We talked about Jonah and the whale, and we talked about what it would be like if we was Jonah and how we would tell the world about the miracle that we experienced through a Facebook post or a YouTube vlog. And so the kids shared that with us, and it was a really fun day.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To go into the story of Jonah, yeah, I don't know if I would be as reluctant as he is, but probably sometimes I would be. I don't know, because he seemed to be really reluctant about that mission to go to Nineveh.
Yeah, no kidding. So like the other teacher that we had, sorry to cut you off. She was like, now last week we were talking about Noah in the ark, and then this week we're talking about Jonah. And does anyone know why God chose Jonah? And no one knew. She asked me, and I was like, bruh, I wish I could tell you. I'm sure that the Bible has the answer in it, but I'm just going to go on a limb and say probably because his name starts with a J. You got Joseph, Jesus, Jonah, and God was like, that's the one. So I don't know what else it could be.
Yeah. Well, I think he had to do some work in Jonah to teach him some humility and a little bit of non-judgmentalness. Is that a thing? About spreading the word, because he didn't want those people to get saved. Essentially.
Right.
So
I think it was more like. Go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off.
Well, no, that's just kind of how it was. He didn't want those people to get saved, so he was like, they're terrible people. Why, there's no way that they shouldn't be saved. They don't deserve your mercy. Well, the fact is that even though they're terrible people, everyone deserves God's mercy. Everyone has God's mercy. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And you can't ever run away from your problems. I think that's the biggest takeaway that we all got. Because even in like Pinocchio, it's like the same idea. You're growing up, and eventually, it's going to be you on your own, and you're going to be responsible for your decisions, and every action has a consequence. And you got to have a conscience there, and you got to listen to it, because if you don't, bad decisions are going to catch up with you one way or another.
Sure.
Huh? Oh,
hey, there he is.
Where are we?
No, he just can't run away from the
problem. The only other thing I was going to mention too was, can't run away from your problems. Yes, and sorry, we'll cut all that out if you want. We're gonna keep it. I don't know. It might be all right with the flow, but I just thought of this too. The week before we were talking about Noah, so maybe God chose to rhymes with Noah, and he was just like, yeah, you're next.
Oh, so it was that's probably why. It was just a phonically similar. So that's probably why they were just phonically similar. So fair enough. We'll go with that. Okay.
Yeah, God's very poetic like that. So next question I got for you, Ryan. This is a Chiefs podcast, kind of, and
Kansas City.
We're in the dog days of the off season.
Oh my gosh!
And so we got like nothing to talk about. Any little thing that we can discuss, we will. And but I don't want to be like everyone else. I'm looking forward to the future. So, what do you think the biggest obstacles for him this season are?
For the Chiefs?
Mm-hmm.
It would be injuries, obviously. Injuries. Obviously, yeah. That would. I mean, they have a really good team. They could go out and play right now, and a lot of teams they're still trying to find out who they are, what their identity is. But the Chiefs, they have an identity. They have the pieces in place. They just need to practice. They need to just get back into the game rhythm, and then they'll be ready to go. So the biggest obstacle would be injuries, I guess, and that's kind of a safe pick. So I'll go with another one too. And another one would be complacency, but I don't think they'll have complacency. I think that they are really determined to get as much possible out of the players, the personnel that they have. So they're going to not be complacent and not rest on their laurels, because a lot of times you'll see that when teams win the Super Bowl, because the people haven't gone back to back in 20 years. So over 19 years? It's been almost 20 years since the Patriots went back to back in their Super Bowl championship. So I don't think that they'll be complacent, but that would be one. It's definitely not the Bills.
Yeah, that's hilarious. No, injuries is a good one. I like that a lot because you got Kadarius Toney. Is he going to stay healthy?
Who knows?
McKinnon, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Is he going to be still in the picture? Who Helaire cares? I don't know. Sorry, that was a stretch. But no, I think that's honestly a legitimate concern, to say the least. I would say, for me, I do think the Chiefs, they do the slow start thing, and they get behind, but for some reason, in the second half of these games, games. They're just like, okay, now we're actually going to get it together. And that's kind of been their thing for years. With Mahomes behind the gun, it just can happen so quick. So I don't know, either themselves are their biggest obstacle or special teams, because special teams kind of lost their identity last year.
That's a good one.
And so, we lost a lot of folks too last season. We get a lot more coming back. So, you were just talking about complacency. I don't know if they're going to be complacent, because I think there's just so much competition in that locker room. Like, you got these folks that they drafted, Rashid Rice, who talks about being a DeAndre Hopkins type of guy. So even if they don't get D-Hop, they got a guy that is
they don't need
aspiring to be somebody like that. No, they don't. But if they do get him, they got nothing to lose and everything to gain. So
sure.
It's really up to him if he wants to take a pay cut. But that's the thing about it, is like they've got all these unknown folks that are just hungry and ready to prove themselves. That I think that they're just so deep. They don't have all these like big star folks, but they got folks that want to work like that, and they're just deep in like almost every position. I know I'm generalizing here, but I think
right. No, that's good. They have a team ready to go. It's just a matter of getting everything, on the field and in game shape and getting ready to rock and roll. So yeah, they could go play with anybody right now. It's just they don't have a pressing need or a pressing concern heading into this into the season.
So one of the things I did want to get your thoughts on was, with special teams, the other thing that I'm concerned about that is, the NFL passed like a new regulation about like fair catches now. And so I don't know if that's going to increase or decrease the Chiefs' chances of being able to make explosive plays, because
it'll probably
that's kind of been their MO. Yeah,
it'll probably decrease. I think you can fair catch during kickoffs, which is stupid. So it'll probably decrease that. I know Andy Reid doesn't like it. It's a stupid rule. But they're trying to prevent injuries, whatever. But you can't just take away. If you want to prevent injuries, just don't play football. So that's my thing. It's like, let's not have fair catch during kickoff.
Right. This isn't powder puff days anymore.
No. You know what you're getting into with that. You know that like the game's violent. If you want to really prevent injuries, just eliminate football altogether, or make it two-hand touch. But even then, you'll have hamstring injuries.
You have guys tripping over each other and just colliding, and it's whatever. But
you'll still have injuries.
Yeah. No. Any other thoughts on that? Any other bold predictions?
Bold predictions. I don't have any. I guess my bold prediction would be the Buffalo Bills won't make the playoffs.
They won't?
No. Yeah, that's my bold prediction.
Gasp.
There's just too much drama going on with that team right now. It's just never good when that stuff happens. So
yeah. My bold prediction, I think that the Broncos are going to get third place in the AFC.
Well, that's bold because usually they would get last. So the Raiders, you say the Raiders are going to be last, or the Chargers?
Yeah, Chargers second, Broncos 3, Raiders bottom.
What? Yeah. The Raiders. They you want to talk about a team that doesn't have an identity? It's that team. They don't even have a quarterback because they signed Jimmy G, and we can go over an AFC West thing in another podcast. But they signed Jimmy G, but Jimmy G isn't healthy right now. So They are they're just looking around for people to start a quarterback right now. So it's just, if you can throw a football, I would try out for the Raiders.
Yeah, and if you live in California, that makes it even easier. So easier for them to recruit.
And the Broncos, they got their new coach. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I think he's going to turn things around for him, but not too much. No, I was agreeing with you. Sorry to cut you off, but I was going to bring things back to the city. So over this past of T Swizzle was in town the last 2 nights. I don't know if she's doing a third night or not, but Taylor Swift was at Arrowhead, bringing the house down, blowing the roof off that doesn't exist, and people are just going nuts over it. So, did you make it to the concert? I know you live there.
No, I didn't. I did the opposite, where I was trying to avoid that area, because I don't want to be in that area with a bunch of teen girls driving around. Some have been drinking, and they are there or waiting for their parents to come pick them up. I tried to avoid that environment. Though I do appreciate the extravaganza and the show that was put on. Just not my crowd, man. Not my crowd. I do like Taylor Swift's music, though. Do you like Taylor Swift's music? Would you go to a Taylor Swift concert?
Oh, trouble, trouble, trouble. I like that one. I also like, what's that other one? I like her newer stuff where she kind of got more hip hoppy and had like drill beats in like her album. That stuff was cool. She's just got really good sound quality, but also I think she was kind of born into the industry. Like she grew up around Nashville, I'm pretty sure. So she knows what she's doing. I'm pretty sure her show would be awesome. I don't know if I would ever pay money to go see it, but if I called 96.5 and they gave me tickets, hell yeah, I'll go. Or like if I was working, so I could get paid to be there. But
it would be cool. I mean, I couldn't belt out the songs with everybody else, but I know some of them. I knew you were trouble when you walked in.
But yeah, no.
And you're lagging again.
All right, are we back? Are we still lagging? I know. I don't think I can actually get on my phone whenever I'm doing this. I think it messes with it. So let's talk about best concert that you have ever been to.
The best concert that I've ever been to.
Besides Trenton and Ryan live.
Yeah, that was a good one. It would be I kind of like Garth Brooks.
Did you see him at Arrowhead?
No.
Or he's been? I know he comes to Kansas City quite often.
He opened up the then called the Sprint Center. So
okay.
He opened up the Sprint Center.
That's
back
cool, man.
Day. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That would be my favorite, the best concert, because he was a really good showman. I haven't, I'm not like a concert guy. George Strait was another good one.
Nice.
Yeah, I've who else? Pixies, they were terrible.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix loved the Pixies.
The Pixies? No, the Pixies weren't around when Jimi Hendrix was around. They were the 80s alternative rock band.
Oh yeah, I guess I don't know what I'm talking about right now.
Probably the Beatles. Did you see Hendrix live?
I don't know. Or maybe the Wallflowers. I'm thinking of them. No, I don't think that's
Maybe.
it. No, I never saw Hendrix when he was alive, unfortunately. I don't even think my dad or mom was born yet, but yeah, sadly. I would have loved to seen him though. I did see Steve Vai live once. That was
Cool.
really cool. That might be my favorite show.
How long did you go for?
Went to Rockfest a couple times. He played for I think like an hour and a half. I was in St. Louis when I saw him at the pageant. It was really cool. I don't remember who he had open for him, but I think it was someone on his Story of Light album. It was just a girl and a keyboard and then a acoustic guitar, but it was really cool. Very gospel-like.
Nice.
Yeah. I saw Stone Temple Pilots at Rockfest like a year before Scott Weiland died, and that was actually a really cool show. Yeah, they sounded amazing. I was really impressed.
Really? Yeah, I bet they would be good
yeah.
live. It's just that they can't do it anymore. But yeah.
But no, I've been to a lot of concerts. Or Metallica cover band. I saw Battery, a tribute to Metallica at the Blue Note in Columbia, and I mean that was like one of those ones where I was just like hyped the whole night, and I knew like almost every song, and we're just me and the friends are just hanging out, yelling, and like just sweating. We go back home. We stop at McDonald's in Boonville, and then like my buddy's freaking. I don't know what he was driving, but I think it was like a minivan or like a Ford Taurus. But it overheated in the drive-through, and then we had to call his mom, and then they drove. It was like I don't know, like 2 a.m.
Wow!
When they got to us. But yeah, that was an epic night. I was in high school.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man, I love it. It's pretty sweet. I'm afraid to see what the next topic is, but I think we're there. So, as you know, Ryan, you and I are from Kansas City, and we've seen a lot in our 30-ish, 35 years of being there. What do you think?
And you're lagging again.
It's because I touched my phone.
So what was the question?
Anyway, no, you and I, we both grew up in Kansas City. We've seen a lot over the years. What do you think the most Kansas City thing is?
The most Kansas City thing is, I don't like. Obviously, we can go with barbecue. The Kansas City people were very, very defensive of our barbecue. I would say Arrowhead Stadium being the loudest stadium too in the NFL, and just any of our like when our sports teams are good, like we're very defensive of them. Like we were very passionate about the Royals when they were good. We're very passionate about the Chiefs now that they're really good. So, yeah, so that's something that I would say is just the passion that the city has for the sports teams when they're good and the way that they rally around them.
It's
like a small big town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. People do say that it kind of has like a college atmosphere to it because honestly, the Chiefs' kingdom is it's international now. But
crazy.
You talk about being loud. I remember I wasn't always a Chiefs fan just because I didn't really care about football that much. My dad was a big sports guy, so I mean I was exposed to it, but I didn't really start taking the Chiefs seriously until I don't know 06, 07. I went to my first ever Chiefs game, and that gave me a whole new appreciation for it. But I just remember people talking about how Arrowhead is like the loudest stadium in the world or in the NFL, and I'm just like, who cares? What a lame thing to be proud of. Like, what?
We are very proud of that. We're very proud of that.
I'm so proud. No one's broken the record. It's so
no one has. I think we broke it on a Sunday night. Golly, yeah, we're proud. We're proud of that. And like, even if it's like when like Seattle like boasts about their loud, we're like, yeah, but it's you guys are like pumping crowd noise. Ours is organic.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're loud.
Oh my gosh, that reminds me too. So like, even at 4th of July, man. So we're at Harrisonville. It's probably maybe about like 40 miles or whatever, 40, 30 minutes south of Kansas City. And like, we do the national anthem right before the fireworks go off. Anywhere around this area, in the land of the free, home of the Chiefs. Fills the air, man. It's just I do it now
too. Yeah, always and forever.
Yeah. That gives me goosebumps, man.
I know, it's awesome.
Crazy.
It is awesome.
No, barbecue is very stereotypical. I do love Kansas City barbecue. I like it wet and juicy, but it's really Memphis barbecue, just with a Midwest twist to it, I guess. I don't know. I would say probably the most Kansas City thing ever is I don't know. We talk about passion, ties back to the Civil War too, because you got the state line where you had Kansas and Missouri like fighting over slavery, if it's ethical or not. So we'll just kill each other because we can't come to a consensus.
Doesn't make any sense, does it? Let's just go to war. Let's just go to combat over this. No, let's not go to combat over this. Like, let's.
Yeah. No, we don't.
Let's realize
I don't want to do all that farm work.
Slavery was wrong, regardless of the economic circumstances.
Yeah. Let's treat people like people.
Yeah.
Golden rule and all that jazz. Because it's also the Bible Belt too. So but when it comes to agriculture, we'll bend the rules a little bit. Whatever. Sure. Anyway, so I would also say that I don't know. We got a lot of caves around here too, man. So like
caves and fountains.
I don't know. Caves and fountains. We are the city of fountains.
City of fountains, yes, it's Fountain City, yeah. And then also like we're coming up there on tacos too, which is very weird.
Yeah.
Like we have a
Zoe
lot
wants me to go try Torchy's tacos. Yeah, have you ever been to Torchy's tacos?
Yeah, I've been to Torchy's. It's good.
I've never been there. I've heard it's amazing.
Do they have a Torchy's in the Burg?
No, they actually had this place in the Burg called Taqueria Habana, which is like authentic street tacos and stuff like that. It was so good. Oh my God, it's like probably my favorite place to go. I would go there for the breakfast burritos. Oh man, just like Chipotle sized burritos, but it was like mom and pop shop. Well, and then like they closed earlier this year because it turns out one of the owners is a POS and apparently abuses people, and so that got shut down. But no, they don't have a Torchy's Tacos here. We got a Taco Bell and Chipotle, but
yeah, not the same. You need it. Well,
neither of those places are that great.
You need like the authentic stuff is where you need to go.
Yeah, I'll go to Buffalo Wild Wings for my tacos.
Hey, that's right. That's authentic as they come, man.
Yeah. Hashtag not sponsored.
No, not at all. Neither's Torchy's or that mom and pop shop that you call the POS. Yeah, I want some tacos too. Delicious. There's nothing better than a good breakfast burrito.
Super good. All right. We were lagging, but I'm back now.
You're back.
I'm back. Right on, man. Other Kansas City things. that you can think of that the world needs to know?
Other Kansas City things that we like. What I mean, what just like Ope? You know, I say Ope all the time.
Oh, snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes Ryan and Trenton.
Yeah. So that's kind of, I say Ope a lot. It's just one of those things. And then obviously you have your pockets of people. Like Independence is different than Johnson County. But yeah. We're just like, it's, if you want to know what Kansas City's like, just like look at Ted Lasso. Watch Ted Lasso, because we're just down home, Midwestern, nice people.
And Jason Sudeikis is a Kansas City native. So
sure, that's why. Yeah, it's even.
That's right. Did you know that Kansas City is actually home of the first like outdoor retail shopping centers, like the Plaza? Like the Plaza was like a revolutionary thing whenever it came out in like the early 1900s. So that's okay.
Cool. No, I did not.
Price Chopper. Price Chopper is, I think, Kansas City origin too.
Yeah. I think Hy-Vee is too.
Yeah. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Yes, I think you're right.
Yeah. So that's and that's why they sponsor a lot of the sporting events. But yeah, I think mainly we're just passionate about our sports teams and barbecue. There's two things that you probably can't criticize if you're outside of Kansas City. That's the barbecue and Patrick Mahomes. We'll get you for those. We'll come to the defense and those are swords we will die. Or those are hills we will die on, not swords.
Yeah. So those are hills. Love it. Excuse me. Ugh. So got one more thing before we go. This, Ryan. Again, we get folks. There's these people out there that think that
you're breaking up. Sorry.
This laggingness is awesome.
Yeah.
Are we back?
Yeah.
Oh. Snap back to reality. Oh. Are you there?
Uh-huh.
Cool. You know, studies show that audiences love this rawness. So I think like the lagginess is what's going to really
studies show that audiences love bad quality.
I digress. Yes. They love mistakes. It's like, hey, they're just like us. I digress. No. Yeah. So every now and again, there's like a news story that comes out talking about how like the Chiefs are like the Washington Redskins, now the Commanders. It's a very offensive name, and they should change their identity. Do you think that's going to happen anytime soon?
No, not at all. You know why? Because the Chiefs is a name about what is a chief? A chief is something that it's a tribal leader. It's a leader of a team, organization, company. What the president is called the commander-in-chief. So it's not offensive. I think the Chiefs done a good job as far as reaching out to the Native American community too, as well, to like, give them support and help them and actually work with them on what they need to work with as far as being a part of the community and embracing the name and all of that. So I don't think that it's offensive. I don't think it'll change. Now I know people will say, "Oh yeah, who are you to say because you're white?" And I'm like, well, I mean, I like that's just like lame too, because usually the people who are saying that, then I'm going to get really kind of political. The people who are saying, "Who are you to say that because you're white. The people who are saying that are also the white people too, who are getting offended on behalf of other people. So, so yeah, no, I think that the Chiefs names is a name of honor. It's a name of it's not mocking the Native American community. It's just it's a term of leadership, and also the Chiefs was the nickname for Atro Bartle, which is the Kansas City dignitary. He was the Bartle Hall and all those. So yeah.
Nice. Man, you get bonus points for even remembering the former mayor's name. Way to go, dude.
Well, he wasn't. I don't think he was former mayor. Was he former? Who was Atro Bartle? I just know that was
just some kind of mayor. I feel like it was the mayor of the 70s or something. I don't know. But yeah, his nickname was like the Chief. I feel like it was proposed, and the city elected for it. They voted on it. They were like, "Yeah, it's what we want," because it was either the Chiefs or the Texans or whatever other suggestions they came up with. But they did the same thing with the Royals. Like they allowed people to voice their opinions on it, and that's what they settled with.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, that's.
But yeah, no, I agree with you. Like.
Right. Usually the people who get upset about that, honestly, are the ones that are being offended on behalf of other people because they think it's going to score them social points. And they don't really understand what they're talking about. Argument can be had for the tomahawk shot, but again, that's just a cry, a war cry. It's just a cry for it's a thing that people do as far as to rally the troops, rally the team. So, I don't think it. You could say the same thing about the Vikings with skull. So there's a lot of things that you can go to. Now the Redskins, I felt like was just a term of offense. So I felt like, well, I don't really understand why they even named that back in the day like that. But yeah. So I think the Chiefs is a completely different category.
I think it'd be an interesting story to dig into the origin of the Redskins name, but that's hilarious. But no, I agree with you. I don't think the Chiefs are changing much, if anything, but they have done things over the years. They do have
go ahead.
Oh yeah, they actually have like a Native American like exhibit of all the former tribes that were there and still exist there. And there's something on display there at Arrowhead Stadium that you visit. They do keep in contact with all those organizations to this day. Right.
Yeah, it's not like we're trying to they're going out of their way to go, hey, yeah, we're gonna take your culture. No, it's like, hey, we're working with you. We appreciate all of this. So, yeah.
And they got rid of the headdresses. They got rid of war paint, the horse.
Which is weird too. And I think they were just again. The headdresses, culture appropriation, but I think that people and mocking one's, I guess, traditions and culture. But I can hear that. I'll hear that. Do I think it was offensive? No, I just think it was people trying to score points. And then the war paint. War paint was the horse. They switched it out for a wolf. so that has really
goofy ass wolf.
Yeah, that has really nothing to do with anything. So yeah, war paint. Again, I think it was just people. We're just trying to please the people who are politically correct on that one. And I get it, but again, are they really offended? Are people really offended by that, or is it just something that they want to show their virtue? So that's what I would ask what people who are wanted that change.
That's a good question. We'll have to ask them ourselves. So if you think it's offensive, let us know in the comments below. And if you think that the Chiefs should change their identity, what would you suggest? Let us know in the comments below.
Anything but the Guardians. Or the what is it? What's the Washington? What do they call themselves now? It's not the Nationals.
The Commanders.
That's right. The Commanders.
The Bill of Wrongs.
I mean, what? Yeah. The Commanders is okay. I guess it's the best out of all those that had to change their name. The Guardians is terrible. But yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I don't see the Chiefs changing their name. But what would it be? Like the Kansas City Kings? They've already had the Kings. I don't know.
Kings, yeah, that was the basketball. It's not maybe the KC Pit Masters or Cave Dwellers.
That's something that would be on like a video game that didn't have the rights to the NFL. The Cave Dwellers.
Yeah. I don't know. We're spitballing here. I don't know Oh, dude, that reminds me. Off topic. The most Kansas City thing ever. It was like, I think it was during 2020 during the pandemic. There was a naked man that was messed up on drugs driving a four-wheeler down I-35 or something like that. And I remember seeing videos about it. And like, he's just living his best life. Letting it all hang out.
His best life. Oh, did he get arrested?
I don't know if they caught him.
Oh my gosh. Probably not.
He's on an ATV. He could hop them freaking boundaries and just like go wherever he wants.
And you saw this person. Or was this a story?
Not in real life, but there was videos everywhere. I remember being at work and I feel like it made national news. But yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Look up naked KC man driving four-wheeler.
Oh, I'm not doing that.
During the pandemic.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, probably. It's probably not a good idea. But yeah. But back to names. I don't know.
Tell us what you think of the name should be if the Chiefs are forced to change their name, which they shouldn't be. How about the Kansas City?
Mahomes say Coyotes?
Yeah.
What was that for? The Kansas City Coyotes? What was that for? I know Mahomes said something about that.
That was the hockey team. That's in Arizona.
That's right. If we got a hockey team, yeah, that'd be sweet.
The Kansas City Blades? No, that was a hockey team. I don't know. The Chiefs are it's a really good name. So I just hope that they keep it like that, and people understand that it's not a term of derogatory term towards a group of people, but a term of endearment. So
yeah. Well, I remember you said one time, and I thought it was a really powerful statement. Like when the tomahawk chop, you might have an argument there about it being offensive, and maybe it should go away. But honestly, you look out in the stadium, and they're doing it all in unison. I just see a bunch of mixed races all unified.
Right. We're all united. All united.
Sharing doing one moment.
Mm-hmm. Right. Cheering for one reason, and that's to cheer on the team. So sports is a great uniter, and let's not.
It's a beautiful thing. It's so powerful.
Right. Right. That's why I said sports is a great uniter, and that's why I don't think that people should try to divide people with that. With this. So that's my thing.
That's awesome, man.
I
think it's all I got, man.
That's all I have. Thoughts? I do not. I'm excited for this Wednesday. The quarterback is going to debut, Patrick Mahomes, and the Case Keenum. No, it's who is it? Marcus Mariota, and and Kirk Cousins. All going to debut, so I'm looking forward to that, man.
Yeah, I know, right?
Looking forward to seeing what the people have in store, man. And the ESPYs are coming up. Mahomes is nominated for the best male athlete, so hopefully he'll win. He needs to win. He needs an ESPY on his belt, an ESPY award. So we'll see. I think it's the same day. I think Wednesday's June 12th or July 12th. Sorry, July 12th. The ESPYs and the quarterback will premiere. I think.
I didn't realize those both came out at the same time. That's pretty sweet. I think that it's going to be cool to review this last season because there's so many good games. Like every single game that the Chiefs played was just freaking epic. They overcame so much, and I wonder how it's going to end. But yeah, no, it was a pretty epic year.
Yeah, it was an awesome year. Awesome year for the Chiefs. It was great. Again, I if we could win the Super Bowl every year, that would be great. But we shall see. What's that?
Okay. Sweet, man. I said we got a chance. We got a chance to win
every year, man. Every year when Coach Reed and Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, you got a chance. Right. Right, man. So we are going to be reacting to that, the ESPYs and the quarterback documentary on Netflix, and we'll be back with our reactions to all of that next week. So check it out.
Yeah, really excited. I'm the Trenton. He's the Ryan.
I'm the Ryan.
We'll catch y'all later.
Deuces.